Dear viewers, welcome to our channel. It's good to have you here. In this video we are going to discuss about the turbocharger. So the purpose of a turbocharger is to compress the air that is getting into the cylinder before it is admitted into the cylinder, so that it can produce higher power. So when engine is fitted with a turbocharger, it will have higher power because the diesel engine that is fitted with the turbocharger will have more air admitted into the cylinder than a naturally aspirated engine where air is admitted into the cylinder only by the suction produced by the piston. Here we have a turbocharger that is installed here on this engine. This is the exhaust manifold. When the exhaust is passing through here, this is the turbocharger unit. We have the turbine assembly, the turbine housing here. We have the compressor housing here. So when exhaust gas exits from the exhaust manifold, it will rotate the turbine wheel. The turbine wheel, which is connected by a shaft to the compressor wheel, will spin at extremely high RPM. That will cause air to be pumped from the air cleaner side. From here, air will be sucked, and then that air will be pumped into the intake manifold. Here we have the oil intake. Massive oil flow has to be there through the turbocharger, because they are operating at extremely high temperature. If there is no sufficient oil that is serving as a cooling agent and a lubrication agent, more likely the turbocharger will fail within a short period. So that massive oil will be admitted here. It will lubricate the bearings on both the turbine housing and the compressor housing, and that oil will directly seep into the oil pan. As you can see, we have larger piping for oil passing through the turbocharger. Turbochargers are designed to produce more power even at low RPM. When engine RPM is increasing, so does the exhaust gas that is passing through the turbine. Now the problem is the rate at which the engine's air demand increases and the rate at which the turbocharger performance increases is not the same. The turbocharger performance increases very rapidly when engine RPM increases. So that means we will have very large power rise when RPM increases. We need to have some mechanisms that will get rid of the extra pressure, because if that extra pressure is introduced inside the cylinder, that will cause stress on engine parts like the crankshaft and the piston itself. That will cause peak pressure. So in order to eliminate that problem, we have a Wastegate mechanism that is operated by pressure from the intake side. Pressure from the compressor side will be used to operate the Wastegate valve here. This is a Wastegate actuating mechanism. The Wastegate mechanism, what it does is, from the exhaust gas that is coming through the turbine wheel, it will bypass some of the exhaust and prevented it from passing through the turbine wheel. So that is the function of the Wastegate. In order for you to clearly understand how the turbocharger operates, let's go and have a look at a sectioned view of the turbocharger. Well, here we have a cutout view of a turbocharger where we have all the parts made visible. This is the turbine housing. We have the turbine housing. This is through which exhaust comes. Exhaust will enter this way and it will exit this way. As exhaust is entering into this chamber, you can see it is driving the turbine wheel. So exhaust will get in, exits, get in, exits, get in, exits. So this is how the turbine wheel is driven by the exhaust gas. The exhaust gas will drive the turbine wheel. The turbine wheel is connected by a shaft to the compressor wheel. See, the compressor wheel is spinning in such a manner. Assume this line is coming from the air cleaner side. So what will happen is, when the compressor wheel is spinning at extremely high speed, it will pump air into this chamber. It will pump air in here. It is like air is being pumped like so with the compressor wheel. So that air will be collected into this cavity and then it will be discharged to the engine. So this is the compressor, this is the compressor housing, this is the turbine. And as we have said previously, for the turbocharger to cool efficiently and for it to withstand the extreme temperature coming from the exhaust, it has to be well lubricated. That lubricating oil will be admitted through this channel Then you see these bearings, they get lubricated by that massive oil flow similar to this channel. The oil will lubricate this, and finally the oil will seep to the oil pan. So due to this extreme temperature, turbochargers, they need to be well lubricated. So every time after you maintain a turbocharger, make sure that there is sufficient oil flow through this turbocharger unit. Otherwise, it will fail within a short period due to the extreme temperature. Now, when we look at the housings, the turbine housing and the compressor housing, see the turbine housing. This is, for example, a compressor housing. When you look at the housing, the diameter, it keeps on increasing. So the purpose of increasing this is so that we have a uniform pressure distribution on every member of the turbine and the compressor wheel assembly. Even if you look at the turbine assembly, we have the same shape. Look, it gradually increases. It is, had it not been sectioned, we have a smaller unit, it gets larger. So when we have this constantly decreasing cross section, the exhaust, when it comes directly from the engine, we have a large pressure. So the turbine blades, which are in the vicinity of the entrance, will be subjected to a larger pressure. Now, because exhaust is getting removed gradually as we go further away from the entrance, now what will happen is, had this cross section been similar, we will have unbalanced force acting on this turbine wheel blades. So due to the exhaust that is being removed, as we go further, the pressure would have dropped. But by reducing the cross section of the turbine housing, we can make sure that there is nearly uniform pressure acting on almost all the turbine wheel, no matter where they are. This way, the whole assembly will be balanced. Same thing is true for the compressor housing also. When you come to the compressor housing, we've said when it is running like this, air is being sucked and admitted into this chamber. Air is being pumped from here to this cavity. Now, initially here, only a small amount of air is pumped. But as we go further, there is much air being pumped into this compressor housing. So in order to have uniform reaction on these blades, we have such a cross section. So such gradually reducing cross section will ensure uniform pressure distribution on all the wheel members. That will ensure uniform rotation. Now let's have a look at the Wastegate assembly. We have said that these turbochargers are designed to produce much more power even at low RPM. But when RPM is increasing, what happens is the turbocharger output will increase faster than the air required by the engine. So if the turbocharger keep on pumping, that will cause to peak pressures produced inside the cylinder. That will cause failure on the engine parts. So in order to eliminate that, what we do is from the output of the compressor, we take pressure lines, and those pressure lines are used to operate a Wastegate valve. Let's have a look at the Wastegate assembly on this turbocharger. This is a Wastegate actuator. This actuator, as you can see, it is connected to the output of the turbocharger. That Wastegate valve assembly is actuated by air from the compressor output. Through this line, it will be connected to the actuator. What the actuator does is, the actuator will actually open and close this valve. See, this is the valve. This valve will be opened and closed. So by opening this valve from the exhaust, look, on this turbocharger, exhaust is coming this way, it will be exiting this way. So what we are doing is, if the Wastegate valve is closed, the entire exhaust will go in, it will pass through the turbine housing, and then it will exit. Now, as RPM increase, however, we need to relieve some pressure. We need to get rid of that extra pressure. In order to get rid of that extra pressure, what it does is, as the pressure increases, this Wastegate actuator will open the Wastegate valve. So this valve will be opened. This Wastegate valve will be opened. It will open like this. Now when this Wastegate valve is opened, from the exhaust gas that is coming to act on the turbine wheel, some of the exhaust will be removed, some of the exhaust will come out this way. So by that we will reduce the exhaust that is going to the turbine wheel, so the turbocharger output will be regulated by using this wastegate valve mechanism. The wastegate valve is usually, on some literature it says it will open between 2000 and 2500 RPM, so that the turbocharger excess pressure production will be prevented by the actuation of the wastegate mechanism, and this is how the turbocharger operates. So this is all we have for you. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more videos of this kind. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. There are more videos of this kind, educational videos are coming, so don't miss them. If you like this video, smash the like button, share it with friends, and comment